I think I had the wrong approach. I need to say, okay, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try this out. I'm gonna give my very best, my 150%. And if I fail miserably, but at least I tried. My name's Dani. I'm from Germany and I'm 35 years old. So when I was 8, my family and me, we went to this missions evening of this dude who was a pilot, helicopter pilot, and he was flying in these remote areas. And I remember very clearly leaving that church building, swinging the doors open and pointing up to the sky and saying, Jesus, I want to do what he does. And then life took over and school came and just life itself, and I forgot about it. So after high school, I went into a regular job. I became a preschool teacher because I didn't know what else to do. And then I became a hospital clown in a kids' cancer hospital in my military civil service time. And then I still didn't know what to do after that. So I decided I want to quit everything and I want to do something where I don't get paid and I just want to work internationally. And I ended up hitting the grounds in Kona, and I helped at the University of the Nations. I discovered that there's more to God than I thought. I decided to do it ETS. Amazing time, those 6 months, went on outreach and came back, and I still didn't know what to do with my life. I kind of panicked, to be honest. So I started to work in grounds. And a year or two into it, it was about where I was building this huge rock wall on the beginning of the university. And all of a sudden this video just hits my eyes, a flashback. Very clear, very detailed, of me going with my family to that missions evening where this guy was on stage, he had a tail rotor, and he was sharing all these stories, and I'm pushing open these doors in the end, pointing to the sky, telling God, I want to do what he does. And it was so vivid in my face, in my eyes. But I did not believe in it. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. I mean, look at me, right? I'm a pilot. In my head is rich and old. I'm young and not so rich. So I always laughed at him. I'm like, yeah, whatever. It's never gonna happen. Until 2016, I had a conversation with a dear friend of mine. And in the end of it, she says, well, what's your dream? It came very out of the blue. And I said, well, that's an odd question. It's an easy one, to become a pilot, helicopter pilot, no brainer. But, come on, I mean, yeah, right. And she's like, why are you laughing? 2 of my brothers are pilots. And it was if God would sit down and say, yeah, tell me, help me to understand why you keep laughing it away. And it had such an impact on me that I'm the one who was believing in this God of the impossible, of the God who everything is possible for him, yet this one thing in my life where I think it's impossible, I don't really believe he could do it. And it really challenged me. I was conflicted in my head about those beliefs I had, right? God is a God of the impossible, yet it's this thing where I think where it's not possible. So it's this conflict in my head. All of a sudden this realization hits me that it's my fear was about if I can control, if I make it, then I decide yes, and if I have a glimpse that I can't do it, then I don't tell anyone and I just ditch it. It's not about knowing if you fail or succeed, it's about trying. So I remember very clearly even cutting that conversation of going in my room and realizing I think I had the wrong approach. I need to say, okay, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try this out. I'm gonna give my very best, my 150%. I do everything in my power to make this happen. And if I fail miserably, but at least I tried. And I remember a very, very clear voice saying in my head, there's always one thing you can do. If it's as tiny as clicking on a link on a website or on an email, if it's as tiny as downloading an application, stuff like this, there's always one thing you can do, and that was my tiny torch in front of my eyes starting that time.